Touring the AFC South here with Mr. Leroy Thompson.
Yes, sir.
I've got to ask, man, I looked you up and you were one of the most highly recruited players out of Knoxville.
Yes, sir.
How was that during that time?
Oh, man, we had just a strong dynasty of a team. I went to Knoxville, Austin East, in Knoxville, Tennessee, and we were AA, but our class, our team, my senior year was ranked number 13 in the nation against 6A teams. So we had about 13 athletes from my senior class that went to Division I. So I had a great line, caught a lot of interceptions, about 43 interceptions, rushed for about 98 touchdowns, and we went to the state every year, won 3 of them out of 4 years. So we had a dynasty.
Okay, so you go from there and you go to Penn State. I mean, what was it like playing in front of that huge crowd? Because at that time, of course, we have Tennessee that has a big, huge stadium, and then the other stadium up north that has a big, was Penn State and Happy Valley. Absolutely. So how was it playing in front of all those fans every Saturday?
Man, it's kept growing and growing. I think then it always fluctuated between Tennessee, Penn State, and Michigan for our on-campus largest stadium. So the whiteout was back 20 years ago in full effect. It's still in full effect now. And it was just a tremendous high to come out and play in front of that many fans. And they supported us then, and they still support us even to this day.
Right. And I looked up. You battled through some injuries, things like that, but you still were a very, very talented running back, and you ended up playing for the Pittsburgh Steelers at the professional level. Now, I talked to Dwight Stone as well, and he talked about just the Steelers and just the model there. I mean, can you speak about just the model of the organization there with the Steelers?
Well, when you came, it was about winning. Before we got there, obviously they had already won 5 Super Bowls with the great Franco Harris, who is a former Penn Stater. Joe Green was there as a defensive lineman coach when I got there. The Mel Blancs, the Lynn Swan, who's from Tennessee, where I'm from. So there was already a tradition there. And I got there. Tim Worley's here today, who was a running back in front of me when I got there. And we just tried to fall in line and keep that tradition going. So I still keep in touch with teammates like Rob Woodson and Greg Lloyd and those team, Barry Foster, Tim Worley, who's here today, Dwight Stone, who went right here to Middle Tennessee State University. We're still really good friends, and we keep in touch, and it's just good to see everybody here today.
Now, as far as your time in the NFL, I know you ran the football, but you also caught the football as well. And in the NFL, there's a running back named Jonathan Taylor. He runs the football very well, but he also is adept in catching the football. So with him, I mean, what do you think of his style of play in the NFL and his sustainability potentially in the NFL?
Man, if I was playing today, I'd make so much money because the game is not as physical. And running backs like me that can run, catch, and block. They're specialists now where you can run routes out of the backfield, you can catch the ball, you can return. They are premium now because the fullback is almost distinct now. So down there allowing running backs that's why those old smash mouth running backs, you just don't see a whole lot of them anymore. One, because they don't want to get them hurt. And then 2, you got to be able, it's an offensive game now. They've taken all the hitting and the spearing and you touch the quarterback, it's a penalty. They've taken all of that out of the game. It really is an offensive game because they want people to score points. They think that fans are coming to see offense. So in today's game, if you can't catch and run, you're not going to last long as a running back in today's NFL. But it wasn't that kind of premium back when I played.
Okay, all right. So if you had to compare yourself to any running back that's out there right now, I know it's a lot of running backs, but what running back would you say probably most fits what you did in the NFL?
I would say, that's a good question. I would say Austin Eckler for the Chargers. Once again, he can run the ball, he can block, he can run inside, He can run outside, but most importantly, he can do the screens. He can line up a receiver and run an out route. He can run a stop route. I was one of those running backs where you can put anywhere on the field, and I still could be a decoy. I could run a go route and beat you. But if they did a blitz pickup and I had to pick up a linebacker, I could block that linebacker, or I can get back behind the ball and run up the middle or run outside. So Austin Eckler would be one of the first ones that come to mind. And he's making a lot of money now. So yeah.
All right. Well, definitely thank you for your time.